there, geeks! I'm feeling like a girl boss today. Why? Because I got a 5 in AP Art! I'm gonna show the AP Art portfolio that got me the top score, tell you my processes behind each artwork, and give you my advice to you girl bosses, cause girl bosses help one another. Disclaimer, the advice I'm giving you is based on my personal experience and my own speculation. I don't really know how college board scores and there's no correct way to approach this. Art is subjective and you should express yourself and do what you want with art. My advice is more about how to survive through AP art without dying, basically. Basically, there are 3 different courses and exams within AP Art: AP 2D Art and Design, AP 3D Art and Design, and AP Drawing. I chose AP Drawing. What you're doing in AP Art is creating a portfolio for a whole school year. The portfolio includes works of art and design, process documentation, and written information about the work presented. May is the time you submit your portfolio, and you're gonna be evaluated based on specific criteria such as skillful synthesis of materials, processes, and ideas, and sustained investigation through practice, experimentation, and revision, guided by questions. Let's go through the requirements for AP Art and Design. Requirements can be changed over time, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna read one for fall 2020. All 3 AP Art exams have 2 sections: selected works and sustained investigation. Sustained investigation. This section of the AP Art and Design portfolio exams offers students the opportunity to make and present works of art and design based on an in-depth investigation of materials, processes, and 19 standard for time. So basically, sustained investigation, also known as concentration, is a series of artworks that explore or are connected by a topic of your choosing. You submit 15 digital images of your artworks and process documentation and a written statement about what the topic is about. And selected works is basically a section where you show off without limits. Alright, enough of this. I want to show my portfolio. The first one is the observational drawing of the beach. I was on a vacation before lockdown, of course, and I did an observational drawing of this lovely beach. It was difficult, especially when the wind kept blowing my art away like a bit, but in the end, it looks good. Next one is my room, both in day and night. This is a digital drawing, and no, my desk isn't that messy. I wanted to work on 2-point perspective, and I discover the magic of lasso tool. The next one is a still life of my baking tools. I wanted to do a still life, but at the same time, I don't want to do something generic like a bowl of fruit or a vase of flowers. Like, I'm not like other girls. I was baking brownies when I thought of drawing my baking tools, so I set them all up to create the reference photo. I tinted the photo orange to create a more warmth, more homey feeling. One of my favorite works in this portfolio. Next, self-portrait. This is actually a repaint. I have a big mirror, so I would observe and draw myself, drawing myself. The skin color is kind of off, but I think that has to do with my inexperience with skin tones plus the lack of light in where I was sitting, but it's a better version than before, so. Finally, this one is an observational drawing of my kitchen. I like the sketchy vibe. The perspective is challenging. It's a weird angle, but in the end, it works. My concentration is basically about girl bosses in nature. No kidding, it's not. It's about finding solace in nature and folklore. I was inspired by this because 1, I love nature. 2, I love reading mythologies and folktales, and 3, I've read articles about how people seek solace in nature and mythologies, especially around this time. My investigation focuses on finding solace in nature and folklore. As a kid, I loved nature and reading folktales about a natural world. I was fascinated by the stories and felt deep respect for nature. Folklore shows the good and ugly sides of nature, turbulent, chaotic, but also beautiful, comforting. I look to nature and folklore as inspirations and a reminder that beauty is everywhere, even within the chaos, and things will turn out alright. At first, the investigation was exploring goddesses in different cultures and finding the similar message behind folklore around the world: coexistence of chaos and comfort in life. Halfway, I expanded the message by turning the series into a cohesive story about a new lighthouse keeper on a journey to a destination, the lighthouse, in first-person perspective. I experimented with art style changes to set the mood. The beginning simplistic style creates a peaceful mood. The keeper is excited to arrive soon. The mood shifts to uncanny and dangerous as style turns realistic. The goddesses are more paradoxical, like picture 9. In the end, the styles are looser to show relief and solace, like picture 14. The goddesses are helping the keeper to the lighthouse. What I'm gonna do is talk about what my drawing's about, the process behind the drawing, and tier rank my artworks and probably roast them. Okay, so here is my tier rank, the lowest. You're not a girl boss. That means I don't like it. There should be more effort put into this. Next, not sure if you're a girl boss. There is effort, but not such a good execution, and I'm still not a big fan. I guess I can call you a girl boss. It's okay. You're getting there. A little flawed, but good. And finally, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Perfection. Okay, the first one, Goddess of the Sun and Moon. This is the first drawing I did for Sustained Investigation. When I first started Sustained Investigation, I was inspired by an artist named Nikolaos Kafasis. Great artist, by the way. I was inspired by the way he incorporates women with nature and how he uses gold in his works. I got the idea to draw this goddess because of his prompt, Obscuratober, which is basically about interpreting obscure words. And the first word in the prompt is selenophile, and this is my interpretation. The goddess has 2 earrings. One is the sun and one is the moon. She's putting the sun down and is excited to wear the moon, and so she creates the sunset. I think the goddess is a girl boss, almost like the Chad of the girl bosses. She's taking care of herself with all the self-love while being on top of the world. She doesn't care if it's time for the sun and the moon to rise. She doesn't care if it's 4 in the morning and the sunlight goes through your window and blinds you while you're asleep. I like this drawing. She is beautiful. She has gorgeous cloud hair and starry freckles. I'm proud of the clouds. I had to practice drawing clouds before working on this drawing, and it's worth it. And I also think the gold is fitting overall. It's a good drawing, and the goddess is such a girl boss, but she looks like she's doing a duck face, and I could have done the water reflection better. You know what? Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Goddess of the Sea. As you can see, there's a children's book kind of vibe in it, and this character is based on an Inuit goddess, Sedna. A quick reminder, this character is not Sedna, it's a character of my story that was inspired by the goddess. All of the goddesses are my OCs, inspired by some aspects of actual mythologies. What do I think about this? I'm more a semi-realistic person, so this kind of simplistic style is challenging, but I think I did a good job, especially with the water. But I don't like that there are tensions. As you can see here, you should avoid tensions because they're distracting. And the goddess, empowering, conquering, and girl boss. Though a girl boss doesn't help people by giving out fish for free, but you know what? It's her choice. We're getting there. Mountain goddess. This goddess is inspired by Acha, I hope I say this right, the spirit of the forest in African mythology, chilling with the birds and a lighthouse on top of her head. I wonder if it will appear again. I was in a rush, and gotta be honest, I'm not the best when it comes to watercolor. I wasn't a fan of crocs hatching, but you know, it's growing on me, so I'm gonna put you in, I guess I can call you a girl boss. Spring goddess, or you cannot be here. There are a lot of deities from different cultures that personify seasons like spring, and the biggest influence here is Ferdinand Keller's interpretation of the Roman goddess Flora. My idea is that this goddess is shocked that you, the lighthouse keeper, arrived at the forest, and she's warning the lighthouse keeper, or you, that you shouldn't go in because there's danger out there. The hare. I died at the hare, not gonna lie. The sheep looks kind of like a dog in disguise of a sheep, and the hand right here is a little bit big. But in general, I like the mysterious vibe in this. I'd say Gaslight, Gatekeep, and Girl Boss because I worked hard on the hair. Live or Die, I Decide. Ooh, this is inspired from an abandoned place that I encountered, and I just loved how creepy it is. The perspective is a little bit awkward, and I wish I could push the contrast a little bit more, but it does what it does. It gives this eerie, mysterious vibe. I guess I can call you a girl boss. This is inspired by an old drawing that I make, and also inspired by forest goddesses in Celtic mythology. I think this is a fascinating work. It's hyper realistic, it's creepy. I think the arm is a little bit off and the background could have been better. That was hella lazy. And I think the lighting on the flower on top doesn't really align with the rest of the drawing. But the goddess? Girl boss. Girl boss! Goddess of the souls, or Guiding Crows. This is semi-realistic. She's inspired by an Irish goddess, Bab, the Deathbringer, goddess of death and war, and creator of confusion. I think the creepy and chaotic vibe is there. It's a good drawing, but it's kind of empty, to be honest, and maybe I should have conveyed better that she's the goddess of the souls. And again, half-ass background. If only I had time. I am so critical of this. I'm the one that got a 5. Not sure if you're a girl boss. Sorry. Goddess of the dark and light. Yeah, I don't like it. I was going for Japanese mythology inspired, but then it's kind of lost in the process. It was a very small canvas, 12 by 12 inches, so I couldn't really do complicated stuff. I wanted to draw a traditional Japanese dress, but I didn't have the time, and the canvas is goddamn tiny. I guess she's inspired by both Inari Okami, goddess of fertility, and Tsukuyomi, god of the moon. I guess the lantern stick is Japanese inspired. I don't know. You're not a girl boss. I'm so sorry. Coming home. So deer are sacred in many cultures. They play a significant role in mythologies. They're the kings of the forest in many places. So that's why I think it's fitting to choose the deer as like the final. Well, not really the final. It's like the second to last of the series, but it's like the finale. Anyway, I'm rambling. So the art style is sketchy and loose. I was inspired by the art style of Wolfwalkers. I like how in the movie the art style changes depending on the mood of the story. In the movie, the art style is clean and rigid when it's trying to convey the sense of strictness, and it's loose and sketchy when it's conveying the sense of freedom. I like it. The deer are girl bosses. Maybe the lighting could be toned down a little there, and have the crows in here too to connect the story. I forgot about drawing the crows in here. You're getting there. Finally, you are here. No, seriously. The name of the piece is You Are Here. Could have done something more with the light. Again, I was lazy with the background. Why? I like the vibe. The glowing mushrooms, you know what? It deserves it because it's the last drawing. So there you have it. Here are all of 15 digital images I submitted, including the process documentation. Finishing the portfolio, there are some pieces that I wish I could have done better, if only I had the time, and it was more difficult for me when I was studying remotely in a country that's 12 hours away from my school. I went to class at night. AP art class starts around the time that I was supposed to go to bed. I also had to deal with homework and college applications. I didn't have a teacher by my side to guide me all the time, so I had to do things mostly on my own. It was hard, and I thought I wouldn't get a 5, but I did. And that's how girl boss I am. Okay, I need to stop. Despite the time crunch, which made me sacrifice perfectionism for a school year, this portfolio is pretty good and I'm happy with the result. I might sound harsh to myself, but that's because I want to improve. But yes, I'm proud of this, and I want to thank my art teacher for helping me. Even though we were 12 hours apart and had to communicate via Zoom, they motivated me, supported me, and gave me great advice to help me go this far. So if you're watching this, thank you. You're the real MVP. My very first advice is, don't take AP Art unless you know what you're doing. AP Art is strenuous, even without this situation. I've seen AP Art students who are obviously stressed and stay up late in the studio until it's past their curfew. I've known some who got burned out, and that sucks. In my art class, we already had to start making artworks as summer homework, and when school started, we got to finish a drawing every 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks isn't so bad, you might be saying, but this is while you have to do homework for other classes and do extracurricular activities. It is more stressful for seniors because of college applications. 2 weeks go by so fast. Don't underestimate it. So, if you think you want to do AP Art because you just want to have fun, don't. No, save yourself. I'm not saying that you can't have fun here. I had fun in AP Art sometimes, but if you can't handle the stress from time crunch, I don't think you should take AP Art because you might get burned out. Art would become less of a hobby and more of a labor, and in the end you wouldn't like art anymore, which really sucks. I took AP Art because I am a masochist. I'm gonna major in art and I know I can handle it, and hey, I survived. I had college credit and drawings to submit to college.
Hello there, this is the editor, Amy, and I'm jumping in to tell you one important part that I forgot, and that is, you don't have to take AP Art to get into a college or an art school. I know there are people who don't take AP Art, but they're still able to go to a really great art school or college with art major. Colleges won't reject you just because you don't take AP Art. And getting a 5 in AP Art doesn't guarantee a spot for admission. So no, you don't have to take AP Art to get into an art school.
Take AP Art after careful consideration is my very first advice. So think carefully. Think about the pros and cons. Oh, you want to take AP Art? Oh, okay, your choice. Draw as many as possible. Not all drawings are getting into your portfolio. I had some drawings that I left out. It's better to have choices than having the exact amount of drawings and realizing that you don't like some of them. Bring variety in your portfolio. Don't draw the same thing over and over again. Mix things up, like the art materials, the composition, the art styles, etc. Try not to be so repetitive throughout your portfolio, or it will look boring. Try to get some spice, get some spice. Don't be so vanilla. Plan things ahead. When you know that you're gonna take AP Art next fall, start planning what you want to draw, the concentration topic you want to do, and even start a drawing or two before class starts. Again, time goes by very quickly. Don't underestimate the time. But at the same time, don't get stressed out about knowing exactly what you want to do. I think most AP Art students are concerned about sustained investigation and figuring out the concentration topic. What if I don't know the topic I want to explore? What if I change the topic midway through? What if my topic isn't good enough for College Board? Amy, how did you do it? Let me tell you something. I didn't know what I was doing with sustained investigation until 5 to 6 drawings later. I know, right? So okay, here's the full story. Remember Goddess of the Sun and Moon? Remember how I was inspired by the combination of women and nature and the Obscuratober prompt? Yeah, my initial idea was following the prompt throughout AP Art, and this is the next drawing of the prompt.
Oh, hell no!
Yeah, that didn't make it through the portfolio. I felt like I didn't want to continue this path, and that was a sign that I should change my topic. I knew I wanted to do something with women and nature, and then mythologies. Then I was like, oh, I think I know what I'm doing. Then halfway through, when I did more research and had the idea of connecting the pieces into a story, then I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. I was going with the flow until I was halfway done. But at the same time, I knew it had to do something with women and nature. So don't worry too much if you're not confident about what topic you want to do. As long as you have a vague idea of what you're doing, you might want to draw skeletons throughout AP art. And while you're drawing, you can develop the topic further, like appreciation of the complexity of the bone structures, or something personal to you. As when you start doing, then you realize what you want to do. Take a look at College Board. Sustained investigation through practice, experimentation, and revision. It's okay to progress your idea through time. It's okay that your ideas change. So there you have it.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope that this is both helpful and entertaining. If you like this video, then click the like button and maybe subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have questions about AP art, comment down below and I will help you. And I'll see you in next video. Bye!